Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Andrew Bond, and on behalf of my team, we are excited to share our project and its journey with you. Now, to ground this in a real life experience, picture this scenario. You just left the vet after a long and strenuous visit, and you're struggling to remember what was said, what the next steps are for your pet, and more importantly, where all this information is located. This very struggle directly influenced us into creating the Pet Passport. And now we invite you to listen to the story behind this concept's formulation and our strategies that guided its development. So you've met me, obviously, but I would be doing a disservice if I didn't introduce you to the rest of the founders of our product: Caroline Calloway, Leah Harris, and Grace Lee. Each of us played a crucial and intricate role in the creating, molding, and bringing Pet Passport to life. In the beginning, during an ordinary brainstorming phase, mind you, our team asked a simple question: what is something we genuinely care about? Almost unanimously, the answer was our beloved pets. And from this shared connection came a deeper discussion about pet care and the very real current issues and frustrations that come with trying to provide the best care for our pets that we see as family members. Now, we realize that interacting with veterinary services is not just a logistical experience. It is emotional, high stakes, and often more complicated and fragmented than it really should be. That realization and personal connection became the starting point of the project. Next, the question became, where in the space should we focus that is not only impactful, but also realistically manageable? Now, we centered on routine and preventative care for dogs and cats because that is where we saw owners consistently making decisions that could have adverse effects on their own health, stress levels, time, and money. Now, we intentionally selected millennial pet owners since they are the generation that actively owns the most pets and whose expectations are actively shaping it. That scope gave us a clear way to examine where the current experience works, where it breaks down, and where stronger support may be needed. With our scope defined, the next question was whether this space represented a real opportunity. We found that it did for three important reasons. First, pet care is deeply emotional. For millennial pet owners, it's become a cultural trend to view pets as family, and as a result, decisions around their care feel personal and high stakes. Second, care experience itself is becoming harder to navigate. Ever increasing costs, lessening availability of appointments, and ineffective communication techniques are putting undue strain on even routine and preventative care. And third, expectations are changing. Millennials want care experiences that feel more convenient, more personalized, and better connected to the way they already use technology. Together, these points revealed that it wasn't just an intriguing subject. We saw a real opportunity for innovation to completely reimagine how we approach daily pet wellness. And with that, I'll turn it over to my colleague, Grace.
Thanks, Andrew. As Andrew just highlighted, the market opportunity here is massive. But an opportunity is just a theory until you talk to your potential consumers. Before we could build Pet Passport, we needed to learn exactly how millennial pet owners navigate the barriers of cost, access, and convenience. We needed to learn how they balance the deep love that they have for their pets with their demanding schedules and fragmented healthcare systems they face every day. So we swam deep. To uncover these insights, we conducted primary research by interviewing our target demographic, focusing on three broad discovery questions we wanted answers to at the end. How do millennial pet owners search for and select their veterinarians? What are the biggest barriers affecting their ability to obtain routine care? And what workaround do they employ when those barriers make care difficult? So, as you know, to get to the bottom of what our target demographic values and find frustrating, we conducted one on one in depth interviews. We asked targeted questions to uncover the exact motivations driving millennial pet parents. Here is what we asked, and more importantly, what we learned. First, we asked, describe a time you had a great experience at the vet and what about the experience made it positive. What we learned was that millennials aren't just paying for medical procedures, they are paying for a relationship. Our research showed that this demographic expects friendliness, instant access, and highly detailed communication. More importantly, from a business perspective, we learned that they're entirely willing to pay a premium for services as long as the outcome feels highly customized and superior. Second, we asked what an ideal vet care experience would look like. What we learned was that the ideal experience must balance deep empathy with modern convenience. Our users expect a provider who proactively remembers their pet health history and treats their animal with the same respect and compassion as a human family member. To fit this level of care into their demanding schedules, they expect flexible, technology enabled options like texting and teleconsultations. Finally, we asked them to describe a negative experience at the vet and how they responded to that. This question revealed our biggest market opportunity. We learned that when clinics feel impersonal or overly corporate, or when users face insufficient communication like long hold times and fragmented records, it immediately drives them away. Furthermore, we learned that when faced with these outdated systems, millennials refused to compromise on care. Instead, they will actively absorb financial strain and seek out tech forward workarounds to ensure their pets are protected. Hearing these answers firsthand confirmed that millennial pet owners feel frustrated and powerless when dealing with outdated systems. With greater insight into exactly what millennial pet owners face when seeking care for their pets, we combined these factors with our secondary research to create our ideal persona. Caroline will now introduce you to our target persona.
Thank you, Grace. I would like to introduce you to the face of our target segment, Lori Holland. Lori was inspired by some of our celebrity crushes, Hugh Laurie and Zendaya. We identified key features of our primary and secondary research and composited the most favorable attributes into Lori. When we were picturing our ideal customer, we imagined a woman in her 30s, married with 2 dogs and no children. She would be considered middle class, but like many other millennials, financially conscious as the cost of living rises each year. We wanted Lori to be the primary caretaker of her dogs, characterizing her as taking on the motherly, nurturing role in her relationship with them. She loves her dogs endlessly and sees them as her fur babies, in line with research showing that millennials view pet as a precursor to having children. Based on this target demographic, Lori would have a very busy job, showcasing that she cannot just drop whatever she is doing to take her pets to the vet. Going to the vet is a burden and takes away her valuable time when she would rather be decompressing. Therefore, Lori is a registered nurse who works long shifts at the hospital and is facing burnout and added stress. All these characteristics make Lori our ideal customer. Lori wants the absolute best care for her fur babies and needs an efficient, convenient, and nurturing pet care experience. Now, despite Lori being the loving, nurturing dog mom she is, Lori has a problem. Several problems, actually. When scheduling vet appointments, Lori finds herself on hold for too long before speaking to the receptionist. Lori also finds that the doctor assigned to her visit sometimes doesn't have the best bedside manners and treats her fur baby as an animal rather than a family member. Additionally, one of Lori's pets has frequent medical mishaps, and she does not have an ideal way to access her pet's medical records. Based on Lori's frustrations, latent needs, and our primary and secondary research, we identified the following key problem we wanted to answer. Millennial pet owners need trustworthy, empathetic companion healthcare because fragmented information, insufficient technology, and inaccessibility make it difficult for them to feel in control and confident when making decisions for pets they see as family. So, why is this problem worth solving for someone like Lori? For Lori, her dogs aren't just pets, they are family. When something goes wrong with their health, it creates anxiety, guilt, and emotional stress. Lori already spends her days caring for others as a nurse, and when it comes time to care for her own fur babies, the system sometimes fails her. Every long hold time, every rushed appointment, and every moment she can't find her pet's medical history makes her feel powerless. We want our pet owners to feel empowered. So, what were some key insights we uncovered? Millennial pet owners emotionally experience pet healthcare the same way parents do with child healthcare, yet the system does not reflect that reality. Pet owners don't just want medical treatments, they want proper bedside manners, clarity, and continuity of care. They expect transparency, modern digital access, and personalization because that's the standard they expect in other areas of life. However, our research shows that pet healthcare remains fragmented, outdated, and overly transactional. This disconnect creates stress and frustration. Based on these insights, we wanted to create a product that gives power back to the pet owners, provides reassurance, and reinstates confidence in pet healthcare. And now I will pass it to Leia to give you the rundown of our incredible product.
Thank you, Caroline. And with that, I'm honored to introduce our solution, Pet Passport, the bridge to better pet care, a vet integrated digital platform that acts as a shared medical and behavioral record for pets and is accessible anytime by both owners and care providers. It functions as both a mobile app and a web portal, giving pet owners a single, reliable hub for everything related to their pet's care. Instead of juggling scattered records, missed details, and inconsistent communication, Pet Passport creates a seamless connection between owners and veterinary teams. So here's how it works. Pet owners create a profile for each of their pets, providing critical day to day insights into behavior, triggers, and handling preferences, while veterinary clinics upload medical records, vaccine histories, and post visit summaries. Together, this creates a complete, continuously updated picture of the pet's health. But you don't just have to take our word for it. Take a look at what our audience says. We conducted a focus group to test our concept among our target audience. We received an overwhelmingly positive response. Users resonate with Pet Passport's core concept and see it as an opportunity to reduce stress and improve their pet care experiences. User feedback influenced us to return to the define phase of design thinking, which has led to our solution evolving significantly. We initially designed Pet Passport as a standalone tracking app for owners, but through testing, we discovered that users want more than another tool. They want coordination and clarity. In response, we pivoted to direct veterinary integration. During our focus group, a user stated that they were interested in systems that don't take too much time and keep things easy. So we shifted our focus from purely personalized care to speed, accessibility, and cognitive support, introducing features such as visual timelines, alerts and notifications, and in app streamlined communication. We also uncovered a deeper insight. Millennial pet owners aren't just lacking information, they're overwhelmed. With this in mind, we've adjusted the user interface to include clear, color coded information hierarchy. Notifications will be categorized and sorted by importance. Pet Passport is powerful because it directly solves the fragmentation and mental overload that are common in modern pet care. It aligns with our original goal of simplifying the pet healthcare experience, making it faster, clearer, and more collaborative. Key features of Pet Passport include the ability to have ongoing support, convenience, clarity, regular reminders, cost transparency, and organization. But what makes Pet Passport truly stand out is its unique shareability. In urgent situations or when seeing a new provider, pet owners often struggle to recall and communicate critical details. Pet Passport eliminates that gap and allows users to securely share a complete, up to date record with any provider, anywhere, relieving pet owners of the stress related to remembering minor details about their pet's health. The key insight we identified is that the biggest latent need isn't more data, it's less stress. Pet Passport doesn't just organize information, it reduces the mental burden of managing a pet's health. That's what makes it not just useful, but necessary. Thank you.